Good evening, everybody, and welcome to a Saturday night high school basketball. We've taken a little trip out just a little bit north of Casstown. Yes, we're out here at Miami East High School. We're getting ready to broadcast the Miami East Vikings taking on our own Troy Christian Eagles. Hi, I'm Dave Fisher, Sports Director for TCR Troy Community Radio. And always sitting beside me on nights like tonight is my good friend Doug Page. Doug, you know, we're still 18.6 seconds. And there's a timeout on the floor in the JV game, and Troy Christian Eagles is only trailing by 3 points, and you know, there's a possibility we
5 points now.
Oh, is it? Okay,
I missed the
two free throws, so they're up 5 with about 18 seconds to go. So it looks like unless something really strange happens, unfortunately, the Troy Christian Eagles JV club is going to lose this ball game here this evening.
I'll tell you, this is a packed house tonight on both sides, and this has been a darn good JV basketball game.
I tell you what, both of these clubs have a lot to look forward to in the coming years. A lot of sophomores on both teams, and they're all playing well. And you know, there's quite a handful of kids on both of these JV teams are going to be back out here in the varsity game, and they'll have a few quarters left over. And like we were talking earlier, and if you don't understand the rules, you got 4 quarters you can play, whether you play 2 or 3 in the JV, and you got 1 left over or 2 left over in the varsity game. So, you know, so they get a good playing time on the JV squad, and then they pretty much set the bench and come in when they're needed on the varsity. But anyways, 18.6 seconds. Troy Christian trails by 5 here in the JV game.
And they inbound the ball.
You know, we're just going to stay right here before we start talking about the varsity game. We've got some good rotation with 14 seconds. They need to shoot a 3, at least get it up. And he got fouled.
And they're not in a bonus situation.
So ball will be out of bounds.
10.3 seconds.
You know,
and we've seen stranger things.
They got to score. You know, they're still, and they're governed.
Oh, that's a hope on a player.
And that's going to do it. They're going to foul. They're going to go down to the other end and shoot. But, you know, last night Troy. Let's talk a little bit about Troy High School. Why this is going on? Troy got out of their gym last night with a victory over Butler.
Well, this is a good thing for this up and coming team.
Yes.
What they would do in the playoffs is anybody's guess, but you know, I think from all reports they seem to be gelling fairly well. You know, adjusting to a new coach, a new system, a little different take on how the game is played. I think it's taking hold with the Troy Trojans. Yeah,
and you know, it's and we're going to be covering that game next week up at Sydney High School, and you just never know. I mean, those guys can get hot. They've got 2 pretty good sized big men, you know, with Austin Persinger and Austin Funderburg, and you know, hopefully they get it gelled. And at this point, even though you're having a bad season, it's all about getting ready for the second week of February.
Well. You never know when you get into tournament play, and you never know the second half of the season. Somebody can catch fire here. You know, they've got some good defensive players like Buccio. You know, get a few more minutes out of him, maybe a few threes, and some of these games might go the other way. But, you know, 15, 16, 17-year-old kids, you never know.
You never know. So we're going to get ready. We're going to take a quick break here. We'll come back and we'll talk about tonight's game. The Troy Christian Eagles taking on the Miami East Vikings right after these messages here on TCR Sports.
Jim Taylor's Troy Ford, 3230 South County Road, 25A, right here in Troy. 339-2687 or TroyFord.com. At Jim Taylor Troy Ford, you'll not only find low prices on great vehicles, but an award-winning service department as well. Jim Taylor's Troy Ford, 3230 South County Road, 25A, right here in Troy.
Welcome back to Miami East High School, where the Troy Christian Eagles are getting ready to take on the Miami East Vikings, and tonight is the Miami East is inducting to their Athletic Hall of Fame 2 inductees. So that is why you're hearing a round of applause here at Miami East High School. And you know,
certainly isn't for us.
It's not for it is not for us, and you know, we have a tendency to get food and other things thrown at us, but that's that's just a norm for both of us. Doug.
Well, as long as they throw lots of veggies, I can have a salad after the game.
There you go. But you know, tonight's game, and Troy Christian is getting ready to take on a very, very good Miami East Viking team. And Doug, you know, what can you say? I mean, they're 9-1 going into this ball game.
Well, here's what you need to know about Miami East. The Vikings are always strong. Year in, year out, they are either at the top or near the top of the always tough cross-county conference. I always call it the always tough cross-county conference.
I played in that conference, and it was tough back 116 years ago.
Yeah, I can see by your face.
That's right.
Okay. Many of those years, the Vikings have been regionally and statewide a power in Division II. And for 23 years, Coach Alan Mack has led the Vikings, though he did take off a few years when he was first appointed as high school principal. But for the last 9 years, he's worn both hats as high school principal and head coach, and worn them well. This year's Vikings, as you mentioned, are 9-1 overall and 4-0 in the conference. Their only defeat was to Division II CJ. They lost 62-53 on December 29th. Currently, Mark Pendleton of the Dayton Daily News ranks CJ as the top Division II team in the region. So they moved up a division, played the big boys, and played them well. The Vikings' average margin of victory is just shy of 28 points. 28 points. I don't know. The reason, though, is obvious. They have a potent offense, and that's coupled with a refined zone defense. Few coaches have had as many years as Mack to tinker with that traditional 1-2-2 zone. And that's the reason why they only trailed CJ by 2 points at the half. But in a gutsy move, CJ came out and decided to sit on their lead in the third quarter. Now, if you're leading by 2 points and you come out and you start passing the ball back and forth, almost like the old four corners.
Yes.
Yeah, that Dean Smith made so famous at North Carolina. And it worked. As an aside, the Tar Heels were so successful with sitting on a lead that the NC2A stepped in and put in a shot clock for college ball. But back to the CJ game. With CJ in the four corners, Mack decided that he was going to extend the team's zone defense in hopes of forcing the issue, trapping the ball, but it didn't work. CJ broke that trap time and time again, and with passes to the open man. Says Mack, we were too aggressive and played into their hands. We just weren't able to handle their athleticism. That was one of those cases where sometimes you get the bear, sometimes the bear gets you.
Yes, it happens.
Yeah. Since then, the Vikings have beaten a strong Anna team that also tried that sit on a lead and found out the hard way that it didn't happen. They beat them by 18 points. That was followed up with just a thorough drubbing of Lehman by 34 points. Offensively, the Vikings present a host of problems to any defense. Damian McAsee, he's a 6'5" power forward, leads the Vikings averaging nearly 23 points and 7 rebounds a game. Nearly half of his rebounds are off the offensive glass, and he's hitting 50% from the field. Then there's Brandon Mack. Yes, he's the coach's son. He's deadly from outside. He's averaging 13 points a game. The 6-foot senior point guard is shooting just over, get this, 42% on three-pointers.
42 from the tray line?
Yeah.
Really? That's tough. That's tough to combat when you're shooting like that.
Well, even more impressive is he's paired with another senior, Ryan Haney, who the coach says is the perfect partner in that combo guard set. He's a player that can take over as point guard. That takes a lot of the pressure off the younger man. He can find the open man, and He takes off the pressure on the younger Mac every time a team tries to double down on him. There's Haney. So he can take it. As the coach says, Haney fuels our attack. Then there is Logan West. He's 6'5", 210-pound junior. That is not a string bean. No. He owns the post. West is averaging about 12 points and 7 boards a game. According to Coach Mack, when Mackesy misses, West is there to clean up the glass. The second chance points that West is getting have boosted his shooting percentage to 61%.
Wow. You can't shake a finger at that one, can you?
No, but every good team needs that one guy who arrives on the court carrying his lunch pail. The guy who you can depend on to get the job done, doing those little things. Setting that hard screen, diving for balls, making steals on the back end of the defense. Those are things that just never show up in the stat sheet. And that guy would be Michael Wearing. He's a 6'3" senior forward. Of Wearing, Max says, he's the blue-collar guy that takes care of what needs done. So that's your starting lineup for the Miami East Vikings. More than a handful on offense and relentless on defense. Those Eagles are going to have to fly high if they hope to have a chance against this crew. They're stepping up a class, well, 2 classes. They're Division 5, and they're playing one of the traditional Division 3 powers. But this is a battle of city folks against the farmers' sons out here. Farmers are big, and they are good.
2 years ago, we were in this gym, and that's when Troy Christian had their powerhouse. And Troy Christian came into this gym and beat the Vikings by 2 points. Last year we turned around and the Vikings went back to when pretty much the same crew that Coach Zawalski had before, and the Vikings returned the favor last year on a 3-pointer at the end of the game, and it was one of those things that the 2 early losses that Troy Christian had last year, they could have won either one of those games. One was against the defending, or which would have ended up being the state title champions. Tri Village, and that was in their tournament over there, and they lost it by 2 in overtime. So the 2 early losses, and they were both back-to-back last year. Now we come in here. Troy Christian is graduated a lot of kids. They've got a lot of young ball players that is going to be on the floor tonight. One is James Anderson. And he is still at the top of the lead as far as field goal percentage in the Metro Buckeye Conference. He's still shooting 63% from the field. So he's a big sophomore, and it's one of those things that he's Mr. Anderson is 6'5", and he's probably 220 pounds anyways.
Well, Coach Mack said he's an impressive young player. I'm looking forward to seeing West and Anderson go head-to-head here, and Mackesy's going to be dropping back in. There are going to be a lot of shots altered tonight.
Well, and we watched James Anderson go up against Hawthorne last or Monday night down at Bethel, and I mean that the Hawthorne kid is a premier ball player in this cross county conference also, and and I have to tip my hat to who I've dubbed the Matrix, Mr. Anderson. He played. He's got good footwork for a sophomore. Neither one of those 2 big men really scored hardly at all in that ball game. They got that Caleb South, but
they counteracted each other.
Absolutely.
And that Terry kid from the outside was knocking down those threes.
And Caleb South for the Bees, which is just a phenomenal sophomore that's going to be a very good ball player down there for them. Kind of put it to us, put it to the Troy Christian Eagles. So, looking at what has transpired here for the Eagles, this year. And we'll mention it again. Casey Commits, left the school. He was 6'5" and was a premier, one of those kids that could take the ball to the basket. So he left a big hole in this club, and some other folks has tried to pick it up. But I'm sure when I talk to the coach, some of the biggest problems right now that Detroit Christian Eagles have, they don't have anybody who can shoot the ball or hasn't been able to shoot the ball.
Yeah, they've been cold.
Yes.
And part of that is particularly Monday at Bethel, Troy Christian just did not get that many good shots.
Right.
Now they come here to, I guess we call this the Mead Hall of the Vikings.
Yes.
And they're going to face another amazing defense. It's going to be a zone. It's, more than likely a 1-3-1 with your big guy in the back. They're going to be hard. This is going to be an interesting game. I say that every night. You never know what's going to happen.
No, you don't know what's going to happen, and at that point when the Troy Christian Eagles get out here, and I've been waiting on a couple of the Eagles to get hot, and one of those individuals was Luke Dillahunt. And I know he's a football player, but last year Luke was a go-to guy when they needed a three-pointer, and they stuck him either off in the corner out on the right wing most of the time, and he was knocking them down. This year he hasn't been able to find his range. You've got Chase Hayden and Seth Wynn, two other of the guard for the Eagles that really haven't played well at all, and they haven't been able to find their range either. So it's been unfortunate. They've also had some sickness, and what I am seeing here tonight is Mr. Anderson is not going to play. It looks like we were a little concerned that he was hurting.
Yeah, hitch in his skid along.
He had a little limp, and it looks like he is not dressing here this evening. So there's just
not out for the pregame yet.
No, I saw him walk out and then walk back into the locker room. So we're going to probably find out here soon when we do the coaches report, and maybe Coach Zawalski will give us a little insight of what's going on with Mr. Anderson, the Matrix. So we're going to take a break, and we're going to come back with more of the pregame report right here on TCR Sports.
Hi, I'm Tracy Bodey. If you're looking to experience quality service at a fair price, come see us at Bodey's Automotive. We're located right down the block from Walgreens at 407 Peters Avenue, or you can reach us at 937-703-1614, or like us on Facebook at Bodey's Automotive.
Welcome back to Miami East High School, where it's a pregame report right here on TCR Troy Community Radio and the new 107.1 WTJN. And also, we will do a videotape rebroadcast of this basketball game on TCT On Demand, the Troy Community Television On Demand on YouTube. And Doug Page and myself the call of tonight's game will be on that video. And I want to thank the sponsors for TCT On Demand, Jim Taylor's Troy Ford, and Bodey's Automotive. Thank you very much. Along with David DeNoyer up on the catwalk. He's above us. And when you watch this thing, if you do watch the game, you're not going to see our face in the pregame or the postgame report because David DeNoyer is above us.
I think that's a selling point for watching.
That's a selling point for this particular ball game. And I also want to say thank you for Kyle Matthews back in the studio engineering this thing for us to get it out here on the air. So with that being said, we're going to take another break, and we're going to come back here with the coaches report here right after these messages here on TCR Sports.
Jim Taylor's Troy Ford, 3230 South County Road, 25A, right here in Troy. 339-2687 or TroyFord.com. At Jim Taylor Troy Ford, you'll not only find low prices on great vehicles, but an award-winning service department as well. Jim Taylor's Troy Ford, 3230 South County Road, 25A, right here in Troy.
Welcome back to Miami East High School, where we're getting ready to tip things off. The Miami East Vikings taking on our own Troy Christian Eagles. We're here with Coach Ray Zawalski. Ray, tough game last night, and I heard that James Anderson tore his knee.
Yeah, we're not 100% positive of that. We're and prayer that hopefully nothing happened. We're going to get an MRI to know for sure. They think it's either the ACL or the LCL. But, you know, this is the second time this year that I've lost my leading scorer and my leading rebounder. My kids have been thrown a lot of adversity, and, you know, we're going to have to really dig deep today to find out how to combat all of that.
Did that happen in the first quarter? That's the way it looked on the score. You know, you looked at the box score and you saw that you guys were right there in the game, and then it just fell apart in the second and third quarter.
Yeah, actually it happened in the second quarter. We had scored early. We had a 4 or 5 point lead in the second quarter, and he went down, and then from then our kids just couldn't get it together. We lost that inside presence, and they were able to attack us and score a lot of baskets.
You know, we broadcast the game on Monday night out of Bethel. You know, you guys had a good first quarter, kind of held them in check, and you couldn't find the range on the outside, but James had a very good game against Hawthorne. I mean, I was really impressed of his footwork. For a sophomore, that kid played a great ball game.
Yeah, he's going to be a collegiate basketball player. That's the exciting thing. And really, you know, I get sad because we're doing this for kids, right. And when a kid gets hurt and he can't finish and play, that just tears me apart. Because he's a good kid, and he's been given everything we've asked for.
I know the couple practices I've seen with you guys, you know, he's got a good heart, and the upperclassmen give him a little hard time, and he just comes right back and plays hard again.
Oh, I know. Yeah, everybody loves James. He's got a great personality, and we're really going to miss him.
Well, at this point now, Seth Wynn and Chase Hayden's going to have to step up. They haven't been able to find the range yet, and neither has Luke Dillahunt. I mean, now they're going to have to.
Yeah, we talked about our game plan. We're going to try to slow the game down. We're going to try to make 10 three-point field goals. That's our goal. We're going to attack with guards actually against the zone inside, find them, kick it out to shooters, and let's just pray that tonight our three-point shot's going.
Well, good luck tonight, Coach, and, you know, we'll put a lot of prayers in for James, and hopefully that knee is not that bad.
In the name of Jesus, thank you very much. We appreciate that.
Absolutely. Ray Zawalski here. We're getting ready to tip things off here on TCR Troy Community Radio. We'll be right back with the starting lineups right after these messages.
Hi, I'm Tracy Bodey. If you're looking to experience quality service at a fair price, come see us at Bodey's Automotive. We're located right down the block from Walgreens at 407 Peters Avenue, or you can reach us at 937-703-1614, or like us on Facebook at Bodey's Automotive.
Welcome back to Miami East High School, where we're in the home of the Miami East Vikings. I'm Dave Fisher, along with my good friend Doug Page, and about 7 minutes we're going to get this thing tipped off. And as you just heard from Coach Zawalski, again, like he said, he lost another top scorer and another top rebounder for his ball club. And you know, he said, like he said, you know, they were in that game and in the first quarter last night, and they took, you know, they hit the first 2 points, and then that's when James went down with, hopefully it's not a knee injury, but they won't know until Monday when he goes to the doctor.
Yeah, we can hope it's just a sprain, but even just a sprain will put you away for a while. You can brace it, but if he needs the surgery, he's going to be out for a month or so.
Right.
Depending on how rehab goes. My orthopedic surgeon was bragging to me that they just slit it open a little bit, stick the little scope in there and clean it all out, and
right.
I'd be as good as new. Then he looked at me and said, well, as good as you can possibly be at your age.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah.
You know, and then after the coach, you know, Coach Zawalski did tell me, you know, after we went to the break, he said, you know, when stuff like this happens, you just kind of ask yourself why, especially the good young kids. And he said, but he says it's very difficult to try to keep these other players up, knowing that they're coming into a ball game tonight, playing a powerhouse.
Yep.
And then you've got seniors on this club too. You know, you've got Chase Hayden and Luke Dillahunt, and it's really difficult to look at those two seniors, and you don't want to say you give up on the season, but
no,
it's
you don't.
Yeah, but it's hard, and knowing that your big man has got to is down for the count for a while. But anyways, that's the nature of playing a basketball, any kind of sporting event. You just never know. Some of the best teams, they have riddled with have some injuries and they can't win. So it's what's happening. Somewhat happening here at Troy Christian High School. But Doug, looking at this game, Miami East. You can't take this Troy Christian team lightly.
Well,
and you don't expect the coach here to allow that to happen either.
Oh no, Coach Mack is not going to allow something like that to happen if he has anything to say about it. He knows Troy Christian. They play enough head-to-head. He knows that Seth Wynn, when he gets hot, is going to hit those threes. Chase Hayden is just a darn good all-around player, and he mentioned that, and he's afraid Dillahunt is going to find the range. Tonight would be the night.
Yeah, and that's one of those things that, and I said in the coaching report, both Luke Dillahunt, Chase Hayden, and Seth Wynn, all three of those young men just haven't been able to find it. In fact, like I used to say when I had problems hitting any kind of shot, I said I couldn't throw it in the ocean if I was standing on the beach.
Well, you see, you don't have the shooter's mentality. The shooter's mentality is he can miss 9 in a row, but he knows the 10th one's going in.
Well, I never stop shooting. I'm just saying.
All right, okay. Well, speaking of shooters, Damon Mackesy, who used to be in the middle for Miami East, this year he got to move out to the wing and let West take over the banging under the boards. He now is 35 points shy of 1,000.
Wow. Okay.
So I don't think he's going to get them all tonight. He may not get even a majority of them, but sometime in the next 2 weeks, that young man is going to 1,000 points in your high school career.
That's a lot of points.
I can't count that high. That's why I played hockey.
That's why you played hockey. Okay. Well, it's this game is. It's one of these. It's been a battle between these two teams, and I expect both teams to be up for this ball game. It ought to be a fun game to watch, and this Miami East team. We're going to be covering this Miami East team again in a few weeks from the confines of the Student Activity Center over at Troy High School. So we kind of worked our schedule around here on TCR Sports, not only to cover Troy Christian and Troy Trojans, but these Miami East Vikings. It's going to be fun to watch them against the Trojans here in a couple weeks.
We've seen some good basketball teams this year, and it's kind of fun. We'll just have to see how things turn out tonight. Coach Zawalski said he was hoping for 10 threes.
Right.
You look at the stats. Stats don't lie. If they don't lie, then they're going to have to put up about 33 pointers, and that's a lot of shooting. But they get those open looks and they get hot. This could get to be a very interesting ball game.
It could be an interesting ball game, and we're going to bring it to you here soon. But there's also some other basketball going on around the county. Bradford's at home against the Newton Indians. That's a county battle going on also. Covington's away at New Bremen. Pickla's home against St. Mary's Memorial. Trojans are at home against Tecumseh after coming off a big win over the Butler Aviators last night. Bethel's at home. Bethel's away at Xenia Christian. Tip City and West Milton are both idle here this evening, and that's what's kind of going on around Miami County here on a basketball Saturday night. So they're going to get ready here this evening, and we're going to take a break, and we'll be back with the starting lineups and the opening tip here on TCR Sports.
Jim Taylor's Troy Ford, 3230 South County Road, 25A, right here in Troy. 339-2687 or TroyFord.com. At Jim Taylor Troy Ford, you'll not only find low prices on great vehicles, but an award-winning service department as well. Jim Taylor's Troy Ford, 3230 South County Road, 25A, right here in Troy.
Welcome back to Troy Christian High School. Welcome back to Miami East High School. The Miami East Vikings are taking on our own Troy Christian Eagles. And for the starting lineups, here's for the Miami East Vikings, Doug Page.
Starting at guard, a senior, 5'11", Ryan Haney. Starting at guard, number 23, a 6-foot senior, Brandon Mack. In the middle, starting at center, number 21, a 6'5" junior, Logan West. On the wings, starting at forward, number 10, a 6'5" senior, Damon Mackesy. And on the other end, on the other wing, number 42, a 6'3" senior, Michael Whirling. And that's the Vikings.
There's your starting lineups for the Miami East Vikings. And for your Troy Christian Eagles, starting at guard, number 3, a sophomore, 5'9" guard, Colt Tanner. At another guard, number 21, a 5'9" senior, Chase Hayden. At another guard, a 5'10" junior, Seth Wynn. Number 23, a junior, 6'3" forward, Jacob Brown. And finishing up with number 32, a senior, Mr. Football for the Troy Christian Eagles, a 6-foot guard, Luke Dillahunt. It's going to be a small club out here for the Troy Christian Eagles. And, you know, Doug, again, small clubs can do very well, but you got to play fundamental basketball. You got to keep the big men off the board. You got to box out. Shot goes up. You got to put a body on somebody, and you know.
Let's face it, they're going to have to hit all those threes. They're going to have to hope for foul trouble with from Miami East. A lot of breaks are going to have to go their way, but I can probably guarantee one thing: they shall hustle.
Well, I got a starting lineup correction. Instead of Colt Tanner, Sam Kirkpatrick is starting, a 6'2" forward. So I miscalculated on the starting lineups, but here we go. And we're getting ready to tip this thing off. Miami East Vikings taking on our own Troy Christian Eagles here on Saturday Night Basketball, TCR Sports. And the tip goes to the Vikings. Number 23, Brandon Mack with the ball, kicks it around to number 4, Ryan Haney. And 20 to Mack, long downtown for 3, and he started it off early. Three-pointer for the Miami East Vikings is a 3-0 with 7:41 early on here in the first quarter. Troy Christian finally gets across the timeline. Miami East Vikings is playing a half-court trap. And they finally get it back across timeline. Trip. Kilpatrick with the basketball. Gets it up to Seth Wynn. Wynn decides to take the air out of it, just stands there and holds on to it, sets the offense. East Vikings in their white jerseys, blue numbers. Troy Christian in their green jerseys, yellow numbers. Looking inside to Seth Wynn over to Chase Hayden. Hayden back to Wynn. They're just passing around a 1-3-1 zone by the Vikings. We've seen this defense for a lot of years over here. That's what Mack likes to play. Dillahunt with the ball in the right wing, down in the right corner. Wynn over to Dillahunt, all the way across the left side. Dillahunt goes to the basket, gets it blocked out of bounds. It's going to be Troy Christian's basketball underneath their own basket on the right side. Triggering the ball out of bounds is Seth Wynn. Wynn looking for someone to get it to. Kicks it all the way out to Dillahunt at the top of the circle. Back to Wynn. Wynn sets the offense. All the way across to Chase Hayden. Chase Hayden drives it, gets it over to, that's Brown, Jacob Brown, 23. He gets trapped. He gets out of that, gets it to Wynn. Wynn at the top of the key to Dillahunt on the right wing. Dillahunt cuts the middle. Brown on the drive, left side, gets it up, no good. Kilpatrick just kicks it around, but Miami East comes up with the basketball. 6:19 left to go here in the first quarter. 3-0 ball game for the Vikings. Vikings have the basketball, kicks it around, down on the post. Gets it, strong move by number 21, Logan West. He's going to be hard to handle without a big man for the Troy Christian Eagles. They get it to the post. They're running a 2-2-1 full court press. They looked to trap at the half-court line, and they stole the ball from Brown. Going right to the basket and gets it to go. Number 10, Damian McAsee. It's now a 7-0 game. East in that press, that 2-2-1 press, and they break it. Gets it across. Brown goes right to the basket. Doesn't get it to go. Had a good look at it, but had a big man in front of him. Here comes the Miami East Vikings. Ryan Haney with the basketball. Kicks it all the way to the far side to number 10, McAsee. Back to McAsee on the right wing. Troy Christian in a 2-3 zone. All the way out for another three-pointer. That is Brandon Mack. And there's a timeout on the floor by Troy Christian. It's a 10-0 ball game with 5:18 to go here in the first quarter. There's a timeout on the floor. And we're going to take one, too, here on TCR Sports. Play me one. Yeah, this is going to be a long one. $25 seconds. $13 seconds. 7. Welcome back to Miami East High School. The Miami East Vikings are leading the Troy Christian Eagles 10-0 with 5:18 left to go in the first quarter. It's been all Miami East so far. They're running a 2-2-1 full court trap, and with Troy Christian gets it across the timeline, and it's tipped out of bounds by number 4, Ryan Haney.
I'm telling you, the Miami East is not going to let Troy Christian go unchallenged on any pass.
They're running that full court press and then drop back into their 1-2 or 1-3-1 zone. I'll get it out. Troy Christian with the basketball. Seth Wynn all the way to Brown on the wing, left wings. Back to Wynn. Luke Dillahunt on the dribble. They're just kind of passing the ball around the outside. Kicks it in the post to Hayden. They're just kicking this thing around, trying to find an open shot. But tell you what, the Miami East Vikings played this defense extremely well. Right now, they're just passing around the perimeter. Brown gets it in to Chase Hayden. Hayden looking nowhere to go, gets it to Luke Dillahunt. Dillahunt decides to drive, kicks it back out. Again, you go into the land of the Giants, into Kilpatrick on the post. Kilpatrick's working really hard in there on the post, trying to get a good position. But the ball's back out and between Brown, Kilpatrick, Wynn to Dillahunt. Nice touch pass and a bad pass, turnover. Ball's on the floor, going to be a jump ball. And the arrow is to the Troy Christian Eagles, so they will keep the basketball.
Number 21, Mr. West for Miami East is just, when they try to isolate Dillahunt in the corner, he's there.
Yeah. Big man come running at you like that. You better get that shot off quick. Troy Christian with the basketball to Jacob Brown on the far left side. Brown kicks it to Dillahunt kind of on the post. Kicks it all the way back out and around the horn it goes. Into Kilpatrick. Hayden for 3. Got it. Good ball movement by the Troy Christian Eagles on that. Finally got them on the board. It's now a 10-3 ball game with 3:45 left to go here in the first quarter. Like I said, they're playing a very good Miami East Vikings ball club. Vikings with the basketball. They're going right to the hole and a shot missed, but a follow-up, no good again. That was number 10, Damian McAsee. He had a good look at the right elbow, followed it up, and still couldn't get it to go. So Troy Christian got a break there. Wynn gets across the timeline to Hayden. Back to Wynn, all the way to Jacob Brown. Brown inside, had Luke Dillahunt on the lower post, just couldn't quite get it there. Big hands tipped the ball. Here comes the Vikings. 23, way downtown again. That one's not going to go. That's going to go almost, try to throw it out of bounds, but good hustle by Luke Dillahunt and the Troy Christian Eagles. They have the basketball.
It just shows that Mr. Mack is, in fact, fallible. That's the first 3 he's missed. He's 2 of 3 so far this game.
Troy Christian gets across the timeline. Miami East Vikings still. Oh, nice pass. Nice pass to Jacob Brown. Good look by Chase Hayden. Caught him flying on the left side. That's just a nice pass. But the East Vikings gets it across their timeline. Mackesy with it, kicks it all the way across, gets it down into West. West just uses that big body up and in. We don't, he gets the ball down there on the post. We don't have anybody that can handle him.
He just pushed 2 Eagles out of the way.
He outsized them big time. Hayden kicks it over to Brown. Brown goes right at West, misses it, and he almost had his own rebound. And he's going to get called for the foul after he missed the layup. So that's actually, I think that is the first foul of this ball game with 2:14 left in the first quarter. Been a pretty clean game, even though there's been some banging going on inside. So Miami East gets the basketball, leading this thing 12-5 with 2:10 left to go in the first quarter. Haney with the basketball on the dribble. Troy Christian Eagles in a 2-3 zone. Way out in the corner, Mackesy for 3. No good. Rebound, Luke Dillahunt. Good defense. And they got Seth Wynn. No, that's not Seth Wynn. That is Spurlock came in the ball game, snuck in here on me. He got in behind the Miami East defense to cut this lead to 5 with 1:50 left to go in the first quarter. Troy Christian, they get a little bit of excitement going on here. They're running a 2-3 zone. Mackesy gets it over to Haney. Haney way outside on the 3. Drives the right side, gets it up, and it's going to go. Nice move by Ryan Haney. And that foul is going to go against, I think, Jacob Brown. I didn't catch who the foul was on, but anyways, Haney was a Brown, and Haney went to the line and nailed that. The extra one for a 3-point play. It's now 15-7 lead with 1:30 to go in the first quarter. Jacob Brown with the basketball on the left side goes right to the basket. He's going to be fouled, and he's going to go to the line shooting 2. And that foul is going to go against Damian Mackesy. That will be his first. That's the first team foul for the Miami East Vikings. So they're going to send Jacob Brown to the line shooting 2. First one's away and no good. I'd like to thank a few of our underwriters here on TCR Sports. Orting's Party Time, Dave Services, the Troy Meat Shop, Mosley Stove Shop and Chimney Sweep, Tim Purdy Remax Professional, and the HTM Credit Union. The second one away for Brown has got it. So it's going to cut this lead, a 7-point lead for the Vikings with 2 1/4 left to go here in the first quarter. Mackesy way downtown again. That ball was way up high, and West gets it. And West gets the go-ahead and the foul. So he's going to go to the line shooting the extra one for a 3-point play, and that foul is going to go against number. Looks like, I think that was Luke Dillahunt. Did he get called for the foul on that one? Was that Dillahunt's foul? No, number
Brown.
Brown got it again. That's his 3rd foul here in the first quarter. That doesn't help because Brown is one of our only big men that we have. But West is at the line shooting the extra one. Gets it away, no good. Rebound, Troy Christian. Chase Hayden with the rebound, gets it to Seth Wynn. Again, Miami East in that 2-2-1 full court. They get it across, all the way across to Kirkpatrick. Loses the handle. Dillahunt threw it a little bit too far across the court. Goes out of bounds. Turnover. Troy Christian Eagles is going to get the ball back to Miami East Vikings with 58 seconds left to go here in the first quarter. Haney with the basketball. Gets across the timeline to Mackesy. Mackesy all the way back across the right side to Haney. Haney for 3. Long range. No good. West rebound for the Vikings. Got it inside. He's fouled again. He's going to go back to the line shooting 2. That foul is against Chase Hayden. That's Chase Hayden's first foul. That's the 4th team foul for the Troy Christian Eagles. Sends West to the line shooting 2. His first one's away, and he got it. I'd like to thank a few more of our underwriters. Caliber Home Loans, Stanley Steamer, International College of Broadcasting, Heath Murray, State Farm Insurance, Sound City Music, and Excellence in Dentistry. Thank you very much, folks. Without you, we wouldn't be bringing you this live sports presentation. And the second one away for West, and he gets it. It's going to extend the Miami East lead, 19-8, with 40 seconds left to go here in the first quarter. That 1-2-2 trap, Doug, is giving Troy Christian a little bit of a trouble getting it across the timeline. That was just trying to feed it in between 3 Miami East Vikings, and the Miami East Vikings throw it away immediately too. So Wynn looking for some help, gets it up to Chase Hayden. Chase Hayden loses the handle. Still looking for it, gets it over to Kirkpatrick. Kirkpatrick says, I'll just take it myself. Gets it back out to Wynn with 14 seconds. They're going to play for 1 shot. No need to get in a hurry. They're trailing by 11. They can cut this lead into less than double digits. Dillahunt gets it to Hayden, and they didn't watch the clock and didn't even get a shot off. So at the end of the first quarter, it's the Miami East Vikings 19, our Troy Christian Eagles 8. We'll be back for the second quarter right after these messages here on TCR Sports.
Hi, I'm Tracy Bodey. If you're looking to experience quality service at a fair price, come see us at Bodey's Automotive. We're located right down the block from Walgreens at 407 Peters Avenue, or you can reach us at 937-703-1614, or like us on Facebook at Bodey's Automotive.
Welcome back to Miami East High School. The Miami East Vikings is leading our Troy Christian Eagles 19-8 after the first quarter. And, you know, all things considering, Doug, Troy Christian played pretty decently. They had a little problems getting on the scoreboard, but then they were able to kind of do fairly well. But Miami East has the basketball. Gets it down in the corner, number 15 for the Vikings. Takes a long three-pointer, no good. Rebound. That looks like Hayden Hartman, and it is. Luke Dillahunt with the basketball. It's over to Seth Wynn at top the key. He's holding on to it and gets it across back over down to Dillahunt on the right corner. Hartman on the left side takes one dribble, kicks it inside to kill Kirkpatrick. Kirkpatrick back out to Chase Hayden, to Seth Wynn, to Luke Dillahunt, to Hartman. They're just passing this ball around, looking inside to try to get something opened up. Dillahunt going to the left side. He goes right to the basket, and he is going to go to the line shooting too. He went right at the big man, Logan West. And again, Luke Dillahunt, fullback. That's what he said. Running back for the Troy Christian Eagles, he said, I will go right at him. So he's at the line shooting two. First one's away, no good, rolls it off the rim and out. A few more of our underwriters that make it happen here on TCR Sports. Willoughby's Hollow, Bodey's Automotive, Union Savings Bank, Hybrid Strength and Fitness, Irwin Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, and Troy CarStar. Second one away, and Luke Dillahunt gets it to go. 10-point lead now for the Miami East Vikings. Number 23, Brandon Mack, gets it across the timeline. Kicks it all the way over to Damian Mackesy. Back to number 24 is now in the game, Clay Karadak. Karadak for three, long one, no good. Rebound, Troy Christian. Troy Christian is boxing out on that 2-3 zone and keeping their big men away and off the offensive glass, and that's what they're going to have to do if they have any chance to do well against this good Miami East ball club. Hayden, Chase Hayden tried to thread it off in the left corner.
Intercepted.
Mackesy was held up by Hartman on the far side of the court, and that's going to be Hayden Hartman's first foul. It's going to be Troy Christian's 15th foul with 6:31 left to go in the second quarter. Brandon Mack with the basketball for the Vikings. Kicks it over to Michael Worley. Down in the corner to Mackesy. Back out around the horn. Karadak to Mackesy. Out in the corner, no good. Rebound, Troy Christian. Miami East has gotten cold here in this second quarter.
0 for 3 on three-pointers.
If Troy Christian could start knocking some more down and getting some quality shots, they could be back in this ball game. And he throws it out of bounds. Bad pass by Seth Wynn. And was it tipped? Is that what I'm seeing here?
Must have been.
It must have been. It looked, I couldn't tell, but from our vantage point, it looked like he just passed out of bounds, but we're going to take it. So Ben Sink is in the game for for the Troy Christian Eagles. Luke Dillahunt on the left wing has the basketball. Kick off of Mackesie's foot. Out of bounds. It'll remain Troy Christian's ball. Hayden Hartman's going to throw this ball in. Gets it to Seth Wynn. Clear across the timeline. Miami East now is just kind of packing that 1-3-1 zone back in, and they look to jump it and try to trap. Chase Hayden gets it back out to Seth Wynn. Back to Chase Hayden. Troy Christian moves the basketball really well. Back all the way back out to Chase Hayden. They're trying to draw them out, and Miami East figures they're just going to come right out after them. Nothing doing. Back to Hartman. Hartman, and it's out of bounds off of number 23, Brandon Mack. So it'll be Troy Christian's basketball. Wynn triggers it in to Chase Hayden. Again, they're on the other side of the timeline, dribbling it up. Now they're going to try to jump it. No, nothing doing on that one. Gets off the right side, inside to Luke Dillahunt. Luke Dillahunt goes right up. Just uses his body well to shield off the Damian Mackesie coming to look to block the shot. It's now a 19-11 game. And with 5:01 left to go here in the second quarter, Miami East is taking a timeout. We're going to take one, too, here on TCR Sports. That'll work. Give me one and bring me back. It's a 30-second timeout. $15 seconds. Two, one. Welcome back to Miami East High School, home of the Vikings, where the Miami East Vikings are taking on our own Troy Christian Eagles. Dave Fisher here and Doug Page. Any thoughts on how this game is?
Well,
you said you're keeping stats, and
what I'm seeing is a very aggressive zone defense for Miami East that's limited Troy Christian to one shot.
That's going to be an over and back.
Limited them to one shot, which was a two-pointer when Dillahunt sneaked along the baseline.
Right.
On the other side of the ledger, Miami East has just been stone cold, 0 for 3 on three-pointers. They're enticing Miami East to come out and try that trap.
Troy Christian with the basketball.
Hoping to find the open man.
Yeah, they've been running that 2-2-1 full court trap, and now they've, at this point, the ball went down on the left side to Hartman. Couldn't see his number, couldn't tell from this distance. Hayden Hartman, and he got a foul, and that's going to be
on Whirling.
Whirling, that's his first foul. That'll be the third foul for the Vikings. Both teams have been playing fairly clean here. Other than Jacob Brown has got 3 of the 5 fouls for Troy Christian. Hartman gets, or Chase Hayden gets a little trouble. Seth Wynn with it, throws it right into the teeth of number 4, Ryan Haney. But then
Haney picks up the foul.
But Haney then picks up the foul because he couldn't quite get the handle on it. So it still remains Troy Christian's basketball. That'll be their 15th foul. Luke Dillahunt for 3. Got it. That's what we've been waiting on. Luke can knock them down, and he got free, and it's going to be a 19-14 lead, 5-point lead with 4:15 left to go in the second quarter. Troy, Miami East Vikings with the basketball. Anio to Mackesie going right to the basket. He went up and in. That's
no
just
stopping
size.
that.
That's just too much size going to the hoop.
That's 6'5" of intimidation.
Damian Mackesie gets it to go. Nice touch when he got there, and he's going to go to the line, shooting the extra one for a 3-point play. Takes a couple dribbles, releases the basketball, rolls it around. Nice touch by the big man, gets it to go. It's now a 22-14 lead for the Vikings. And again, Mackesie goes right after the basketball on the inbound pass. Chase Hayden throwing it in to Seth Wynn. Again, Vikings in that 2-2-1 full court trap. And Luke Dillahunt just got called for a travel.
That was an interesting way to break it. They brought up 3 guards.
Yes.
Against the 2 zone men.
You know, Troy Christians is, I mean, they're able to break it once, but once they get across the timeline, they've made some bad passes after they broke the press.
Yeah.
Miami East with the basketball. Mackesy going to the hoop, and he throws it out of bounds, and it's going to be Troy Christian's basketball with 5:51 left here in the second period. 22-14 lead, 8-point lead for the Vikings.
Schenk is in for Kirkpatrick down low. Actually, he'll probably play a high post for a while.
They've been putting him up, somebody up at the foul line to bring him up in the high post to try to get that defense to collapse. Nice pass inside to Hartman, but Hartman kicks it to Dillahunt for three. In and out, no good. Rebound Mackesy. Mackesy will just bring it up himself, the big man, 6'5", and Wynn just grabbed onto him and stopped him from going to the basket. So that'll be a 1 and bonus now. Troy Christian, that is their 7th foul. Puts Miami's Vikings to the line, shooting a 1-and-1. Mackesy steps up to the line. He's taking a couple dribbles. Releases the basketball. It goes in and out, and that's going to be a foul on number 21, Logan West. He just crashed over the top and said, well, you know, I'm
bigger than you are.
Yeah, I'm about 8 inches taller than you are, Luke Dillahunt. I'm just going to see if I can go over top. And the official said, nope, he had good position.
That's his 3rd foul. Well, they bring Mackesy up.
They're bringing Mackesy up to play that 2-2-1 zone. And
actually, they're sliding a 3rd man up to offset the.
And they're saying that ball that went out of bounds on that was tipped by a Troy Christian Eagle, so it's going to be a turnover for the Eagles. Going to turn the ball back over to the Vikings. Haney with the basketball. Troy Christian in a 2-3 zone. Haney at the top of the key. Gets it all the way across to Whirling, back to Haney, down in the corner to Mackesy. Mackesy's looking for nowhere to go on the left side. To Haney on the right wing. Skip pass, no good. Mackesy crashes the board. And again, the size of the Miami East Vikings is starting to take its toll on the Troy Christian Eagles.
Dillahunt picks up his, I think it's first foul.
Yeah,
yes, it is.
It's his first.
And Mackesy's at the line.
So Mackesy back at the line, shooting, I think it's a 1 in bonus, or is it a 2-shotter? It's one in bonus. Ball's away, no good, hard. The ball is picked up by Wynn. All the way up to the left side to Hartman. Hartman on the dribble, still on the dribble. Gets it to Kilpatrick on the way out the left wing. They kick it out to Seth Wynn. He hangs on to the basketball at just about the jump circle. Chase Hayden starts the offense. Back to Wynn. All the way across to the left wing to Hartman. Hartman nowhere to go, picks up this dribble, swings it back to the right, down in the right corner to Luke Dillahunt, back to Hartman. Again, Troy Christian is just passing this ball around the outside, looking inside. They're actually flashing Kirkpatrick up to the high post at times to try to collapse that Miami East defense. Left corner to Dillahunt. Nice ball work. They're patient. 2:14 to go. Dillahunt for 3. That's not going to go. It's off the mark. Rebound, big 15. Braxton Donaldson for the Miami East Vikings. Bringing the ball up is Brandon Mack. Dumps it back off to Haney. Back to Mack. All the way across the corner to Whirling. Haney at the top of the circle. Drives to the left side. Nothing doing. Good defense by the Troy Christian Eagles. Miami East leading this thing by 8. They're not in a hurry. They're just passing the ball around. Haney, top of the key. Gets it to Donaldson. Haney looks to drive. No good. Donaldson for a long, about a 17, 18-footer. Ball's on the floor. Ball's on the floor, and it's going to be Troy. It's going to be Troy. There's going to be a 30-second timeout. I wasn't sure what happened here, but there's a timeout on the floor, and we're going to take one, too, here on TCR Sports.
Jim Taylor's Troy Ford, 3230 South County Road, 25A, right here in Troy. 339-2687 or TroyFord.com. At Jim Taylor Troy Ford, you'll not only find low prices on great vehicles, but an award-winning service department as well. Jim Taylor's Troy Ford, 3230 South County Road, 25A, right here in Troy.
Welcome back to Miami East High School. Miami East has the basketball with 1:32 left to go here in the second quarter. Haney over to Mack. The 24 has it, kicks it down to McAsee for three.
That's a two-pointer.
Yeah, it's a two-pointer. He was on his toe on the line. He got it to go. It's a 24-14 lead now for the Miami East Vikings. Everyone still in that 2-2-1 zone. Gets it across the timeline to Kirkpatrick. Back out to Chase Hayden. 1:07 left to go in the second quarter. Again, Coach Zawalski's calling out some plays. Seth Wynn is hanging on to the basketball. McAsee comes up and challenges him. Gets across the corner. Left side, out to the right wing. All the way, throws Chase Hayden, throws it out of bounds. I think Seth Wynn thought he was going to bring it back out towards the top. He threw it inside. Nobody home, turnover, Troy Christian.
24-14, 40 seconds left.
Haney gets it across, just dribbles it slowly up to across the timeline. Troy Christian still in a 2-3 zone. Way out in the corner, no good. Big rebound. Big rebound by number 10, Damian McAsee on the weak side. Those are the picture perfect type rebounds where you timed the jump right, it came off right, and you know.
And the foul was on Dillahunt, his second.
And that's going to put McAsee at the line, shooting a 1-and bonus with 27.9 seconds to go here in the first half. McAsee steps up to the line. 42 is in for Miami East. Whirling, going out. Karadak. McAsee at the line, takes a couple dribbles, eyes it up, releases the basketball, rolls it around, got it. I'd like to thank a couple more of our underwriters here on TCR Sports. Trojan Auto Care, Lance Martin, Better Homes and Garden Realty, Ording's Party Time, Dave's Services, Troy Meat Shop. Thank you very much, folks. McAsee releases it again and misses the second part of that 1-and bonus. 25 seconds left to go here in the second quarter. It's a 25-14 lead now for the Miami East Vikings. They get it across the timeline. Wynn, Hayden playing pitch and catch out there, and they tip it away. And the Miami East Vikings going right down the ball, and it's stolen by Hayden. Hayden gets up to Schnick. Schnick with a 3-on-2 at the buzzer, shoots it, no. Had 3 seconds left, and McAsee knocks it off of Spurlock is in the ball game with 1.8 seconds to go here in the second quarter. They'll have about almost 2 seconds. It's enough time for him to make a throw. He's going to throw it all the way down, and he flips it away and no good. So that's the end of the first half here at the Miami East, home of the Vikings. It's the Miami East Vikings 25, our Troy Christian Eagles 14. We'll be back with a halftime report right after these messages here on TCR Sports.
Hi, I'm Tracy Bodey. If you're looking to experience quality service at a fair price, come see us at Bodey's Automotive. We're located right down the block from Walgreens at 407 Peters Avenue, or you can reach us at 937-703-1614, or like us on Facebook at Bodey's Automotive.
Welcome back to Miami East High School, home of the Vikings, where the Miami East Vikings are taking on our own Troy Trojans. You're listening to TCR Troy Community Radio and the new 107.1 WTJN. And also, if you're going to be tuning in, this is being videotaped broadcast for a rebroadcast on TCTOnDemand.com, or as we most fondly like to call it, Troy Community Television on Demand. And Dave Fisher here with Doug Page. And Doug, you know, honestly, looking at the Troy Christian Eagles, and they're losing their big man to only be down 11 at halftime. is somewhat of a victory for the Troy Christian Eagles. But I mean, they've had some opportunities. They had it within 8, and it stayed there for quite a while. And they increased it back out to 11 points. But still, they've had Troy Christian. If they could have hit a few of those shots, they could have been a lot closer ball game.
Well, they had 4 shots in the second quarter. They made 2 of them.
Right.
Okay, they got 6 points out of it. Whereas in the second quarter for Miami East, they also got 6 points out of it.
Right.
All 6 of them from McAsee.
Right.
It's a very bizarre game. We thought Troy was going to be putting up the threes. They've only had 4 open 3 shots. They made 2 of them, but 2 for 4, they ain't going to cut it.
Right.
On the other hand, the Vikings decided in the second half or second quarter they were going to hit those long rainbow shots. Well, they went 0 for 7 on 3-pointers in the second quarter, 2 for 11 on the game so far. But what I noticed was in the last 4 minutes of this second quarter, Mr. McAsee decided he was going to take over. He was, when you're 6'5", you're going to, and you're playing nobody over 6 foot.
Right.
Time to assert yourself, and boy, howdy has he. He's been grabbing boards, drawing fouls. He got all 6 of the Vikings' points in the second half. I expect him to come right back out and let him do his thing. Let he and West just pound the boards for all they're worth. Let's just put it away, they're going to say.
Well, and the zone trap full court zone trap that Miami East is playing, it's it hasn't. I don't want to say it hasn't bothered Troy Christian. It has.
Oh yes, it has.
But they've been able. They get it across the timeline, and then that is when they throw the ball away. They've only had a couple turnovers before. And you're right, as you're holding your arms way out, the big arms that the Miami East Vikings have with their big men is definitely causing some issues. But, they're able to get the ball across the timeline, and then they don't take care of it once they get there. But, for the most part, it's slowed the game down to the point is why we only got a 25-14 lead.
Well, and that's the whole point.
39 points total in this ballgame.
That's the whole point of Zawalski's strategy. If we hold the ball, they can't score.
That's correct.
The other part of that strategy is when we get an open shot, which they've gotten very few, or if we can sneak somebody down the baseline, we have to make those shots.
Right.
And you can't be perfect in this game. Well, sometimes somebody will go unconscious and knock down 5 in a row, and then you've got a ball game.
Right.
Gutty performance by the Eagles. I mean,
absolutely.
You've got Weston McAsee just flying into the lane, and Worley just out there on the wing, not allowing them that open 3. Those are big kids. We're going 6'5", 6'5", and Worley is the little boy at 6'3". That's their front line. Mm-hmm. And they are good defensive players.
Yes.
When you hold the opposition to 4 shots, all by Luke Dillahunt, who you said is the fullback.
Right.
He's crashing.
Yeah, Luke is, the 2-3 zone that Troy Christian is playing, they're able to keep Miami East off the board somewhat, but what is happening is some of those long rebounds come off the backside, and when you got a 6'5" individual like McAsee, crashing on the weak side boards, and he's going up against a 5'10", 5'9" kid down on the baseline. You're going to most of the time you're going to win those battles when those long rebounds come off like that.
Yeah, there's Troy Christian is making the best they can of a really bad situation. they're playing gritty basketball. Problem is, Miami East is just as gritty, but they're bigger and they're stronger.
And they got a lot more horses that they can bring off the bench too. So we're going to get ready here. We got about a minute and a half here before we get ready to start the second half here at Miami East, where the Troy Christian Eagles are taking on the Miami East Vikings. And we'll be right back after these messages here on TCR Sports.
Jim Taylor's Troy Ford, 3230 South County Road, 25A, right here in Troy. 339-2687 or TroyFord.com. At Jim Taylor Troy Ford, you'll not only find low prices on great vehicles, but an award-winning service department as well. Jim Taylor's Troy Ford, 3230 South County Road, 25A, right here in Troy.
Welcome back to Miami East High School. The Miami East Vikings are taking on our own Troy Christian Eagles. It's a 25-14 game right now. Miami East leading the Eagles. Eagles with the basketball here to start the second half. Hayden across the timeline to Seth Wynn, and it's a kicked ball by number 23, Brandon Mack, and it'll be Troy Christian basketball. Throwing the ball inbounds is Chase Hayden. Kicks it all the way back to Seth Wynn. They're looking to trap. Wynn gets it across the timeline to Chase Hayden. Hayden down in the corner to Luke Dillahunt. Dillahunt gets it tipped away by Mackesy. Mackesy with the basketball on the dribble. Gets it across to Haney. Haney started to take a three on the left side. Pump fake, no good. Back out to Mackesy at the top of the circle, between the circle and the jump circle and the top of the key. Haney with the basketball. Whirling. Back to Haney, back to Mackesy down in the left corner. Troy Christian in a 2-3 zone. Kicks it all the way to the right side to Whirling. Whirling gets it in the West. West pivots and goes big against a much smaller Peyton Spurlock. Spurlock has the basketball, gets it to Hayden. Hayden with the skip pass across the way to Wynn. They break the press. Hayden, Wynn throws it off the face of Whirling, or the shoulder. Hit it off the shoulder. He said hit it off his shoulder, and well, it goes right out of bounds, but Troy Christian had the ball underneath their basket on the right side. Kicks it in to Jacob Brown. Brown to Hayden. The ball kicked again by Haney.
Well, that's the thing about Whirling. He's not afraid to, put his face where it needs to be.
I think he said it went off his shoulder, but it looked like it went off his noggin, honestly. Troy Christian the basketball. I don't know where Chase Hayden was throwing that, but wherever it was, there was not a green jersey to be found. So out of bounds turnover, Troy Christian. 6:45 left here in the third quarter. Kirkpatrick is in for Spurlock. Kirkpatrick going to go to the middle on this 2-3 zone for the Eagles. Whirling. Off in the corner to number 23, Brandon Mack, into Mackesy. Nice cut by the big man, and it's a 29-14 lead for the Miami East Vikings.
That was a thing of beauty.
Wynn gets it across the timeline on the dribble, up the center, takes the shot, no good. Nice rebound by Kirkpatrick, took it right away from Whirling, and they get the ball back out and set the offense. Troy Christian looking inside, had a Jacob Brown cutting on the left side, a little over the top, couldn't handle it, out of bounds. East basketball. Haney on the dribble, gets it up all the way to Mackesy. Mackesy on the left side on the dribble. Gets it to Haney. West to Mack. To Whirling in the right corner, all the way around the horn it went. Back to Whirling for three, no good. Big rebound West inside. He gets fouled. It's going to be a two-shot foul, and that foul looks like it's going to go against number 22, Seth Wynn. It's his second foul, going to send number 21, Logan West, to the line, shooting two. First one's away, gets it to go. Nice touch by the big man.
Very nice rotation.
Some of our underwriters will make it happen. HTM Credit Union, Caliber Home Loans, Stanley Steamer, International College of Broadcasting, and Heath Murray State Farm Insurance. The second attempt is no good. Rebound, Troy Christian. Seth Wynn with the basketball, gets it across the timeline to Hayden. Wynn right at the jump circle. The M&E here in the Miami East High School. Luke Dillahunt started to drive left, gets it in the corner. Skip pass out to Jacob Brown. Back to Wynn on the left side to Dillahunt. Almost to the corner, gets it into Kirkpatrick. Tried to split that defense. Wynn off in the corner to Hayden. Downtown, no good. Nice rebound by Luke Dillahunt. Didn't get it to go. And it rebound Hayden back to Dillahunt on the left side, and they reset the offense. Good hustle by Luke Dillahunt. Had a chance on the left side, inside on that rebound. Couldn't get it to go. Wynn with the long three-pointer, no good. Mackesy with the big rebound, and here comes the Miami East Vikings. Mackesy still on the dribble, looking to go left. Kicks it all the way out in the left corner to Mack, no good. Rebound Dillahunt, weak side. Gives it right back to Hayden, and he gives it back to Seth Wynn, and Wynn brings it across. Miami's still trying to jump.
Brown was trying to make a move before he had the ball.
Yeah. Bounce pass over to Jacob Brown. He took his eyes off of it. He did have a lane to the basket, but got to catch the ball there first, young man, before you can go to the bucket. So Miami East basketball. Meany gets it right up the court. Mackesy looking to drive. Right, nice shot by the big man. Started left and brought the right hand back out and got it to go. Nice shot. That's a college shot right there.
Yep.
Troy Christian with the ball, gets it into Hartman. Hartman in a skip pass all the way across to Brown. Good thing the young man gets up. He goes right to the basket. No good. Rebound Miami
Worley blocked
East.
it.
Worley must have tipped it. And the ball's batted around, and Troy Christian comes up with it. Hartman gets it to Chase Hayden to Luke Dillahunt. Dillahunt looking to go to the line. No good. Hartman pump fake. Couldn't get it. Mackesy was able to recover. Brown in the left corner. Back to Wynn. Across around the horn to Hartman. Down in the post to Chase Hayden. Hayden had nowhere to go and gets a strip, but Luke Dillahunt picks it up. Hartman for three in the left corner. No good. Batted around. That's going to go out of bounds off of west of Miami East. Going to remain Troy Christian's basketball with 3:31 left to go here in the third quarter. Unfortunately, Troy Christian has not put any points on the scoreboard. It's now a 32-14 lead for the Vikings. Into the game now is a sophomore, Colt Tanner. He played pretty well in the JV game, so he has a couple quarters left, and coach is bringing him in. The kid can go to the basket as a sophomore. And Whirling come up and try to poke it away from Tanner, and he gets called for the foul.
That's his second.
Both teams as of now here in the third quarter to 3:16 mark. The 3 Sweet 16 mark of the third quarter. Each team has one foul. The only person really in foul trouble for both clubs is Jacob Brown for the Troy Christian Eagles. He has 3 and picked them up in the first quarter. Troy Christian with the basketball, kind of playing a high post. Luke Dillahunt for 3, in and out. We saw that in the Bethel game, man. His shot is right there, but it's just not quite going down. Mackesy, nice shot, no good. Rebound, Tanner, one of the smallest kids out on the floor, rips one down. That young sophomore is going to be a good ball player. He's not afraid to go inside with the big men either. Christian with the ball. 1-3-1 zone that East has been playing all night. Hartman all around the horn to Brown. Back to Hartman on the left wing to Dillahunt down in the corner. Dillahunt tried to thread it. Nice hustle by Tanner to keep the ball alive. They get it, gets it into Tanner in the post. Nothing doing. Too many big men in there for that young man. Wynn on the dribble at the top of the key. They're just working the basketball. Miami East is just trying to jump it, and they're not really in a big hurry. 2:01 left to go here in the third quarter. 32-14. Miami East. Then Miami East from the opening go. Tipped away by East, and Mackesy comes up with it.
Oh!
Mackesy throws that one out of bounds.
He wanted Haney to go up and Haney's not big enough to go up that high.
I don't think so. Although it was a very good pass to the
Excellent.
Miami East cheerleading crew over on the far side. But
no, she was a little bit
she wasn't
terrified.
She wasn't ready to shoot the ball at all. Wasn't in shooting position.
No.
So turnover, Miami East goes to Troy Christian. Troy Christian has yet to score here in the third quarter. That ball is kicked by number 23, Brandon Mack, so it's going to remain Troy Christian's basketball. 1:36 left to go here in the third quarter. This third quarter has been somewhat uneventful. I mean, the points that Miami East is scoring is nothing, and we got a timeout on the floor, and it's going to be a 30-second timeout. We're just going to stay right here, Doug, with 1:30 to go. And
it's kind of interesting because Miami East just really hasn't been shooting the three ball at all with any accuracy. They haven't hit anything since the first quarter. I guess I'm shocked. And they've had good looks. They just haven't gone down. They start hitting the threes, they're going to run the Eagles out of the gym.
Right.
That's not happening.
Well, it was they've only, am I correct? They've only scored 10 points this first half. Or no, I'm sorry. 8 points this half.
I'm looking, 7.
7, okay, 7. Yeah, there was an 11-point lead. Yeah, 7 points this half, and with 1:28 to go. And granted, Troy Christian is slowing it down, but they have the basketball. Tanner gets it to Dillahunt. Dillahunt skip pass over to Wynn. Wynn looking to drive, gets it into Hartman. Hartman tried to shoot over big 42 Whirling.
The thing is,
that wasn't going to happen. And Hartman at 5'9", Whirling at 6'3". It's kind of hard to get over top of him. So Miami East has the basketball. Haney being guarded. Just guarded by Tanner. Tanner kind of came up and pressured him a little bit. Haney goes right to the right elbow, stops, and gets it to go. Gets it to go. It's now a 20-point lead for the Miami East Vikings with 49 seconds left to go here in the third quarter. Tanner with the basketball.
That big front line of Miami East is anticipating the pass.
Yes.
They are getting into the passing lane so quickly.
Well, the crispness of the passing by the Troy Christian Eagles has slowed down a little bit. Wynn for 3 on the left elbow, in and out right off the backside. Brown goes up, couldn't get the left side to go. Luke, Miami East with the basketball. Haney gets it across the timeline. All the way across to Mack, back to Haney. 2 long skip passes. Troy Christian is playing a 2-3 zone. Haney goes to the basket, no good.
Worley gets the putback.
No, it's actually Mackesy. Mackesy had the putback on that.
Oh, you're right.
Both of those big men were right there with 2.3 seconds left to go in the third quarter. It's a 36-14 lead now for Miami East Vikings. I don't know, there's the coach. Coach Zawalski is talking to the official, so Mackesy is going to the line, shooting a 3 to complete the three-point play, gets it to go. It's now 37-14 with 2 seconds left to go. Wynn just heaves one up, didn't even get there, and that's the end of the third quarter. Troy Christian Eagles trail the Miami East Vikings 37-14. We'll be right back after these messages with the fourth quarter here on TCR Sports.
Hi, I'm Tracy Bodey. If you're looking to experience quality service at a fair price, come see us at Bodey's Automotive. We're located right down the block from Walgreens at 407 Peters Avenue, or you can reach us at 937-703-1614 or like us on Facebook at Bodey's Automotive.
Welcome back to Miami East High School, where the Troy Christian Eagles are taking on the Miami East Vikings here on TCR Troy Community Radio and the new 107.1 WTJN and Troy Community Television on demand. We will have a tape rebroadcast of this basketball game here in a few days. So if you want to see this game, and like I said, this Miami East team is a very good ball club.
Yeah, they ran off 12 unanswered points in that third period. Troy was 0 for 7 for the entire third period.
Miami East with the basketball to start the fourth quarter. Gets it down in the corner of Mackesy, and we've got a 32 with it. Dillahunt pushes Mackesy and gets called with the foul. That's going to be Dillahunt's third foul. Troy Christian Eagles also have 3 as a team this half. Mackesy gets it inbounds from Haney. Kicks it back over to Haney on the left side. Inside to number 23. He kicks it out to the far right corner. Mack hits a long 3, and it's now a 40-14 lead for the Miami East Vikings. Seth Wynn with the basketball on the dribble. Kicks it down in the corner to Brown. Brown goes around, goes right to the basket and gets it to go. Nice move by Jacob Brown on Braxton Donaldson. Donaldson can't stay with that young man. He's just much quicker, but Donaldson outweighs him by a bunch. Mackesy inside. And there's going to be another foul against Luke Dillahunt.
That's his 4th.
And that's Luke's 4th foul. There's going to be a 2-shot foul for Mackesy. So Mackesy will go to the line shooting 2. Mackesy gets the basketball from the official, takes a few dribbles, eyes it up, and releases the ball, gets it to go. A few more of our underwriters that make it happen here on TCR Sports, Sound City Music. Excellence in Dentistry, Heath Murray, State Farm Insurance, Willoughby's Hollow, Bodey's Automotive, and Union Savings Bank. Next one for Mackesy, he gets that one to go too, and
that's 23 points for the young man.
So he's having a very good night for the Vikings. 7:02 left here in the ball game. It's been pretty much it's wire to wire so far for the Miami East Vikings, leading this 42-16. Brown with the ball going inside, can't get the left-handed side shot to go, but he's going to go the line shooting 2. And that foul is going to go against 23, Brandon Mack.
I think that's his first.
It's only his first. So sends Jacob Brown to the line shooting 2.
Bingo.
Gets the first one to go. Again, underwriters here that make it happen on TCR Sports. Hybrid Strength and Fitness, Irwin, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Troy CarStar, Trojan Auto Care, and Lance Martin, Better Homes and Garden Realty. And Jacob Brown gets the second one to go. It's a 42-18 lead now. Way off the corners, Mack for 3, no good. Rebound, Brown. Good positioning by the young man. Here comes Troy Christian over to Spurlock. Spurlock kicks it back to Tanner. Tanner misses it. Kicked around, and there's going to be a foul. And that should be on, I think they're going to get number, or was it just an out of bounds? I thought it was a foul.
Out of bounds.
Out of bounds, okay. Must have hit the inbound or the in line. Going to be Miami East basketball. Haney just walking the ball up the floor. Gets it across the timeline. 2-3 zone by the Troy Christian Eagles. Mack down in the corner to West. Kicks it out to Mackesy. Mackesy's jumper, 15-footer, got it. That's just a good going from right to left, stopped and jump shot. That's just a good shot.
Pretty shot.
It's easy when you're shooting over somebody. It's about 7-8 inches shorter than you are, but
he may be 6'5", but he can get up high.
He does play well.
Nicely
nice pass,
done.
Nice pass. Chase Hayden to Colt Tanner on the give and go to make this a 44-20 ball game. 5:52 left to go in the game. Skip pass all the way across to Mackesy, all the way back across to Mack, and Mack for 3, no good. Big rebound by Seth Wynn, gets it out to Jacob Brown. 3-on-1, go to Spurlock. Spurlock gets absolutely hammered by Mackesy, and that's going to put Spurlock to the line shooting 2. So Spurlock going to the line shooting 2. Again, 5:37 left to go in the ball game. Spurlock eyes the thing up, releases it short.
got to start making free throws.
Yes, and that's been uncommon for this Troy Christian team. They were a very good free throw shooting team last year. This year they've had problems when they've made it to the line. Spurlock with his second attempt. That was rolls in and out, was down in the well and came right back out. East has the ball. Mackesy goes to the basket hard on the right side. A pass from Haney and gets fouled. It's going to be a two-shot foul, and that's going to go against 21, Chase Hayden. That's his second foul. It's a 15 foul for the Troy Christian Eagles. Mackesy releases his first one, gets it to go. Some of our underwriters here on TCR Sports. Ording's Party Time, Dave Services, Troy Meat Shop, Mosley Stove Shop and Chimney Sweep, Tim Pretty, Remax Professionals, and Caliber Home Loans. Don't forget to check out our friends at the HTM Credit Union. Mackesy with his second one. That's going to go hard off the rim and nice hustle. But here comes Troy Christian. We're able to pick up the loose ball. Spurlock has it on the right side, goes to drive, kicks it back out to Seth Wynn for three. Nope, he had he had a toe on the line on the far side, two-pointer. It's now a 24-45 point lead for the Miami East Vikings. And Miami East now just kind of kicking around the outside. Haney for three at the top of the circle, got it. At the 5-minute mark, he nails a three. Troy Christian kind of packed it back in. He says, well, I'll just take that shot. Nice shot by the young man from the Vikings, Haney. Troy Christian now just on the dribble. Seth Wynn.
I think we're going to see a wholesale change in the Miami East team here.
I think so, too. They're going to bring a lot of young players in. Hartman gets it over to Wynn down on the left side. Wynn looking to go baseline. Nothing doing. Too many bodies around. Tipped away by Mack. Mack was able to go. A nice hustle by Brown, but he's going to get called for the foul.
That was an ugly foul.
And that's going to be, and it's going to send Mack to the line shooting two. That's Brown's fourth. Dillahunt has four, Brown has four, and I think Brown is going to come out. Mack at the line shooting two for the Miami East Vikings. Mack releases the basketball, no good.
Okay, wholesale substitutions.
Yep, all the starters for the Miami East Vikings are going to sit down for the exception
of Mr. Mack
because he's got another free throw. So we've got number 20, Cam Combs in. Number 5, Jeff Whitman. 14, Austin Kearns. And number 24, Clay Karadak for the Miami East Vikings is in the ball game now with 4:25 left remaining here in the fourth quarter. Mack at the line, shooting his second one. The ball's released, gets it to go, and increases this lead 49-22 with 4 1/4 left to go in this ball game. Troy Christian with the basketball. Wynn gets it across the timeline, kicks it over to Brown on the left wing. Down in the corner to Hartman. Hartman loses the handle, loses the dribble, and there's a timeout on the floor, and we're going to take one too. We'll be right back after these messages here on TCR Sports.
Jim Taylor's Troy Ford, 3230 South County Road, 25A, right here in Troy. 339-2687 or TroyFord.com. At Jim Taylor Troy Ford, you'll not only find low prices on great vehicles, but an award-winning service department as well. Jim Taylor's Troy Ford, 3230 South County Road, 25A, right here in Troy.
Welcome back to Miami East High School, where we're 4 minutes and 13 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. Troy Christian trails big time behind this good Miami East Ball Club, 49-22, and Troy Christian has the basketball. Brown to Win on the left side. Spurlock to Schmick. Schmick tries to drive. Hartman for a long three, no good. Nice hustle by the Troy Christian Eagles to keep that ball alive. And there's going to be a blocking foul. That looks like it's going to go against number 24, Clay Karadak. That's his, I think that's his first.
Yep.
So Troy Christian will have the basketball on the underneath their basket on the left side. Jacob Brown is getting ready to trigger. Coming out of the ball game is Seth Wynn. In is Kirkpatrick. Schmick with the basketball for the Eagles, looking to give it up to Hartman. Hartman kicks it down on the right side to Brown. Hartman to Spurlock. Spurlock for three, no good. Rebound Karadak. No, that's number 30 Rutledge for the Miami East Vikings. And number 5, Jeffrey Whitman gets called with carrying the basketball. Turnover going to go to the Troy Christian Eagles with 3:36 left to go in the ball game.
No press.
No press. Miami East has just backed it in their 1-3-1 zone. Troy Christian kicking around the outside all the way in the right corner to Brown, to Hartman, to Spurlock on the left side. Schmick going to take a 15-footer, no good, over the top. A little bit strong. Rebound Miami East. 3:14 left to go in the ball game. 49-22, East lead. Long three by East. No good. Rebound. Offensive rebound and a putback, no good. Here comes Troy Christian. Spurlock on the dribble, going right to the basketball, right to the hoop, and gets it to go. Just kind of like parting of the Red Sea right there. And Spurlock went right down the middle. No one picked him up, got it to go. Miami East, number 30, Rutledge. All the way over to Whitman on the left side. To Coombs. Coombs with the long three, no good. Big long rebound to Whitman. He gets it up. Nice touch at the foul line. Takes a dribble and does a little jumper right there. Gets it to roll around and goes in. 51-24. Troy Christian with the basketball. Gets it down in on the low post to Schmick. Schmick decides to go right up. No good. Gets it blocked. Rebound number 30 Rutledge for Miami East. He just brings it out himself. All the way across to Whitman. Left side. Coombs gets it into Karadak. No good. Rebound Schmick. Good position by the young man, number 34 for the Eagles. He's going right to the basket. He gets fouled. And that will be number 14. That's Austin Kern's first fouls. Karadak is coming out. Coming in for the Miami East Vikings, Braxton Donaldson. Colt Tanner will trigger the ball inbounds for the Eagles. Gets it to Schmick. All the way across. Hartman for three in the left corner. No good. Rebound Donaldson for the Vikings. Coombs with the basketball, bringing it across the line. Back to Coombs, over to Whitman on the left wing. 1 minute, 40 seconds left to go in the ball game. Coombs, skip pass from Kearns to Whitman. Back to Coombs. Coombs on the dribble, taking his time. Whitman just kind of looking inside with the basketball. Coombs right, about 3 feet atop the circle. Gets it into Donaldson. Donaldson,
nicely done.
Nice touch by number 15. He gets fouled by Spurlock. Sends Donaldson to the line to finish off a possible three-point play. Donaldson on the dribble. Eyes it up. Reese gets it to go. Minute 22 left to go. It's now a 54-24 lead. 30-point game for the Miami East Vikings.
Not much can be said about this.
No, not at all. This Miami East team is going to be fun to watch if they stay healthy going down the stretch and in tournament time. Schmick with the basketball, looking left, kicks it out to Hartman. Back to Tanner. Tanner with a nice touch pass to Spurlock. Spurlock tried to feed it in to Schmick on the box, down low, no good. Went out of bounds. Going to be Miami East basketball with 52 seconds left to go. Yeah, it'll be interesting. If this East team stays healthy, they're going to be interesting to see how they proceed along in the tournament. Turnover Miami East. Spurlock on the drive. He's going to go right to the basket. He gets hammered by number 22, Cam Combs, a 5'11 junior guard for the East Vikings. They got him listed at 5'11". He looks a lot bigger than 5'11".
He's bigger than me.
Okay.
I used to be 5'11".
Okay. Well, that's what I'm saying. I looked at that. I'm thinking, well, okay. Spurlock at the line. He gets the first one. I'd like to thank a lot of our underwriters here to make it happen here on TCR Sports. Bodey's Automotive, Union Savings Bank, Sound City Music, Hybrid Strength and Fitness, and Irwin Chrysler Dodge Jeep. 31 seconds left in the ball game. It's a 54-25 lead for the Vikings. Vikings have the basketball. Coombs kicks it all the way across to Rutledge. Rutledge skip pass to Coombs, over then and turnover. Troy Christian has the basketball. Spurlock going right to the basket. No good. Gets it. Was that? Yeah, that was Kirkpatrick in there hustling. Was able to pull a rebound down. He gets fouled. He's going to go to the line shooting 2.
With 8 seconds left.
8 seconds left here in the ball game. Miami East Vikings. This is going to go wire to wire, never relinquished the lead. They went out to a 11-0 run before Troy Christian was able to put any points on the board.
And a 12-0 third period.
Yeah, and unfortunately couldn't put anything on the board in the third period. Both of them went down. It's now a 54-27 lead with 4 seconds left, and that's going to pretty much do it here tonight from Miami East High School. The Miami East Vikings came in, did their job, played a very, very good ball game, and beat our Troy Christian Eagles 54-27. We'll be back with a post-game report right after these messages here on TCR Sports.
Hi, I'm Tracy Bodey. If you're looking to experience quality service at a fair price, come see us at Bodey's Automotive. We're located right down the block from Walgreens at 407 Peters Avenue, or you can reach us at 937-703-1614, or like us on Facebook at Bodey's Automotive.
Welcome back to Miami East High School, where the Miami East Vikings handily defeated the Troy Christian Eagles. What was the final score, Doug? 54-27. Yes.
They doubled them up.
They doubled them up, and you know, again, we knew this was going to be a tough game coming into tonight's ball game, and it became even a tougher game when we found out that James Anderson for the Troy Christian Eagles possibly has a torn knee. So we won't know until Monday, and you know, again, prayers, everything goes out to that young man. He's a good kid, and hopefully everything's good for him. But still have to play the ball game, and Miami East is a very, very good ball club, and they showed it tonight. They just started. They went from wire to wire and pretty much just put it to the Troy Christian Eagles.
You know, they started out with a 19-8 first quarter.
Right.
Second quarter, everybody slowed down. It looked like this was going to be a game. They came out in the third quarter, outscoring the Eagles 12-0, and that's all she wrote. And it could have been worse. They were a miserable 3 of 16. The Vikings were in three-pointers, which kind of surprised me. But, you know, leading scorer, no question here, Damian Mackesy with unofficially 29 points for Miami East. Brandon Mack added 10. Other side of the ledger, Jacob Brown led scorers for Troy Christian with 7. Luke Dillahunt had 6, and Peyton Spurlock had 5. That sort of showed you tonight they had. They wanted to see 10 three-pointers. They didn't even shoot 10 three-pointers. They were 2 of 9 from threes.
So how many did they shoot? I'm sorry, I didn't.
At 9 total, they made 2.
Made 2, and it was one of those where, you know, starting out in the starting the second half of the third quarter, you know, only down 11. I mean, I kind of thought if they could at least do something in that third quarter, and if you do a big goose egg and not have any points on the board, that's just.
They had a total of 7 shots.
7 shots in the third quarter.
That's what happens when you run into a really superior defense that shuts it down. And at some point, about 4 minutes left in that third quarter, McAsee decided he was going to take over the game, and Katie barred the door. He just started filling the basket. He was driving. He was picking up the fouls. He was making the free throws. 6'5", 6'5", 6'3". That's the front line for the Miami Vikings. And when you don't have a player on the court that's over 6 foot tall,
right,
it's a hard row to hoe.
Yeah, and Jacob Brown got in foul trouble early on in that first quarter. He had 3 fouls in the first frame.
Yep.
And he went and sat on the bench. And after that, the Troy Christian Eagles really don't have anybody other than Kirkpatrick. That's who I was trying to think of. He's 6'2", junior. But when like you said, 6'5", 6'5", 6'3", it's going to be hard. And these kids here at Miami East are very good athletes. They're just not big. They're also athletes, and they could get up and down the floor. And like you said, for the radio crowd, when you hold your arms out like this, you can't see it. But they've got those wide bodies, and they get them
there
wings.
We go.
You get them wings out there, and that cuts down on the passing lanes, and it just causes all kinds of trouble for the Troy Christian Eagles. The other thing that looking at the defense that the Miami East Vikings play, that 2-2-1 full court trap, they play that very, very well. And they smelled the basketball and where the basketball was going. Troy Christian did a fairly decent job, at least getting it across the timeline. But once they got it across the timeline, then they collapsed in on it, and they just didn't quite find the right passing lane. They broke it twice that I can recall in this game pretty handily, but you have to break it time and time and time again to make it work.
And you are not going to do it when you've got that kind of athletic front line guys doing what they're supposed to. And when you put Mr. West down there under the basket, you're going to have a hard time.
He's a big kid, a big wide body. Well, as some folks call a big aircraft carrier.
That would be Al McGuire.
Al McGuire, yes.
Okay, well, what the real, I think, what drives his team, Miami East particularly, was having West down low. McAsee could now move out to that power forward position. We saw him drive the baseline. We saw him shoot threes. We saw him shoot pull-up jumpers. You can't do that when you're down low on the post, on the blocks. Now that they've got somebody who can be a real force in the middle, that opens him up. That opens Mac up. And right behind West is Whirling, just ready to, do whatever is necessary. And Haney, boy,
Good ball handler.
Good ball handler.
Good ball handler.
He and Mac together, they're just
about halfway through the fourth quarter tonight. I was watching this Miami East club play. It just hit me. This team reminds me a lot of the Tri-Village Patriots from last year.
Okay.
And the crew that they had, because about the same size, 6'3", 6'5", 6'5", 6'3", and they had 2 good guards that could play. This team reminds me of that 23-0 Tri-Village Patriot team. And I tell you what, even though Tri-Village played in a lower division, they were tough. This Miami East club is going, like I said, going to be fun to watch. And we're going to see them again here in a few weeks against the Troy Trojans. And we're going to see what they could do when they're going to be able to match up with G-Walk and some big kids with Austin Funderburg and Austin Persinger. It'll be interesting, but that's a few weeks away. So, tonight's ball game, there's not much you can say. Miami East just outplayed and outmanned our Troy Christian Eagles. But next week, Doug, we are going to go back on the road again, and we're going to be heading to Sydney, Ohio, where the Troy Trojans will be taking on the Sydney Yellow Jackets, and that ought to be a very good game for us to cover.
Well, it should be. So good night to the International Space Station. I'm sure they can pick us up
probably
on the internet. Let's see. Where haven't we been? How about San Diego, California? Let's try to stay dry there, folks. And all the ships at sea, good night.
Yeah, I'd like to thank, everybody. I'd like to thank David Denoy, our videographer, for tonight's game, and also Kyle Matthews back at the studio. Kyle, thank you very much on a Saturday night. I know you like to be doing something else than do this for us, but thank you. And for Doug Page and myself, Dave Fisher, we will see you next Friday night, coming to you live from Sydney High School as the Troy Trojans will be taking on the Sydney Yellow Jackets. Good night, everybody.